All right, let's jump right in. You know that feeling, right? When a company's growing like crazy, it's exciting, but it's also kind of chaotic. All the important stuff, all the how-tos, they just live inside a few key people's heads. Well, today we're going to break down a system designed to fix that once and for all. It's called the SOP Codex.
Let's kick things off with a number that should honestly make any leader a little nervous: 70%. Now that's a huge number on its own, but what it represents is, well, it's even more alarming.
That's the percentage of fast-growing companies that are running on what's called tribal knowledge. Basically, it's all the unwritten rules, the "oh, that's just how we do things around here" stuff that gets passed down by word of mouth. And because it's not written down, it makes the business incredibly fragile. The second you start hiring faster, or worse, a key person decides to leave, poof, that knowledge just walks right out the door.
I mean, just think about your own team for a second. That one person, you know who I'm talking about, if they walked out the door tomorrow, would a huge chunk of your company's brain just vanish with them? For most businesses, if we're being honest, the answer is a resounding yes. And that is a massive and completely unnecessary risk.
So how do we fix this? What's the answer? Well, you have to build a central, shared brain for the company. And that's exactly what the SOP Codex is all about. It's creating a single source of truth that takes all that messy, fragile tribal knowledge and turns it into a clear, organized library that everyone can access. The foundation of this whole system is something called the taxonomy matrix. And look, don't let that fancy name scare you off. All it is a super consistent, really logical way to name and organize every single process in your company. It has one goal, and one goal only: to make sure any piece of information is instantly findable. No more duplicates, no more confusion.
And check this out. Here's a perfect example of how it works in practice. Every process gets its own unique code. Let's break this one down. SA on B004. SA is the department code, so sales. On B is the category, which is onboarding. And 004 tells you it's the fourth process that's been documented in that specific category. See? It's simple, it's searchable, and you can scale it forever.
This comparison, man, this really hits home, right? It's the difference between the absolute chaos we've all seen. You know, those marketing general misc folders that are basically a digital graveyard where documents going to die, and the Codex solution. It replaces all that mess with a strict, clean, searchable system. It gives you a single source of truth, so you can say goodbye to lost and duplicate files for good.
Now, a great organizing system is one thing, but it's totally useless if nobody has the time to actually write the documents to put in it. And this is where the process gets really, really powerful. We're talking about creating a solid first draft of any standard operating procedure, an SOP, in about 15 minutes. No joke. And the workflow itself, it's beautifully simple. Just 4 steps. First, you just record a quick 20-minute chat with the expert, the person who actually owns the process. Second, you take the transcript from that chat and you paste it into an AI tool with a very specific prompt. Third, the expert gets that AI-generated draft back and just spends a few minutes editing and polishing it up. And finally, a designated librarian publishes the final approved SOP. That's it.
Now, this right here, this is the magic ingredient, the AI prompt. You're not just saying, hey, summarize this conversation. No way. You're giving it a precise command. You're telling it to create a numbered procedure with very specific sections. What's the trigger? What are the inputs? What are the step-by-step actions? Who owns it and where's the quality check? It's this structure that turns a messy conversation into a professional document.
And the result of all this? The average time to get that fully structured first draft back from the AI is just 12 minutes. 12! I mean, think about that for a second. A task that used to take hours, sometimes days of painful writing, can now be drafted in less time than it takes to grab a cup of coffee.
But, and this is a big but, creating all these great documents is only half the battle, right? The real challenge, the thing that trips everyone up, is keeping them alive, keeping them current. Because let's be real, a library full of wrong information is actually worse than having no library at all. The Codex has a brilliant built-in solution for this.
It's called the 90-day review engine. The rule is dead simple. Every single SOP has to be reviewed and revalidated by its owner every 90 days. If it's not, the system automatically flags it as out of date. This creates this constant, gentle pressure to keep the company's brain fresh and accurate. And of course, you've got to measure it. You need to know if the system is actually working, if people are using it. So you track a few key things. You track completion percentage. Are your most critical processes actually documented? You watch for deviation incidents to see how often reality doesn't match the paper. And you keep an eye on how many days SOPs are overdue for review. These numbers tell you the health of your system.
So you might be wondering, does this stuff actually work in the real world? Oh yeah, absolutely. One logistics client who put this system in place saw a staggering 42% reduction in onboarding errors. 42%! That's not a small number. That's a total game changer for efficiency and quality. And how'd they get that incredible result? It wasn't some crazy expensive software or a massive consulting project. It was by empowering their frontline team with a simple deviation log. That's it. Anytime a task in the real world didn't match the documented SOP, they just flagged it. This created this powerful, continuous feedback loop that forced the processes to evolve and stay true to reality.
So we've seen the whole system, right? How to organize everything, how to draft new procedures super fast, and, crucially, how to keep it all alive and useful. The journey from chaos to clarity isn't about some single heroic effort. It's about putting in a simple, repeatable system that everyone can be a part of.
It really all boils down to this one core idea, this mantra. Documented clarity precedes scalable delegation. You simply cannot delegate effectively, you cannot grow your team until the process for doing the work is crystal clear. Clarity has to come first, period.
So I'm going to leave you with a final thought, a question to really think about. Look at your own team, your own company. What is the one process, the one bottleneck that, if you documented it today, using this system, would save your team countless hours and headaches tomorrow? Find that one thing and start there.